My own niece stood at that music festival in Israel, watching nearly 10 of her closest friends get slaughtered right in front of her own eyes. The universe operates as a flawless mirror. What we carry in our subconscious is exactly what we project outward and attract back into our physical reality. We have to look into the mirror and ask the terrifying question: why is the universe reflecting so much global animosity back toward the Jewish people? The universe operates as a flawless mirror. What we carry in our subconscious is exactly what we project outward and attract back into our physical reality. So we have to look into the mirror and ask the terrifying question: why is the universe reflecting so much global animosity back toward the Jewish people? The answer lies in generational trauma. For 2,000 years, the Jewish community has carried compressed subconscious wounds of isolation and persecution deep within their DNA, evidenced by their participation in the killing of Jesus for exposing financial problems inside of the Second Temple, and the temple's eventual destruction where Jews were exiled from Judea in 70 Common Era. When a collective consciousness holds that much unhealed pain, fear, and internal division, exemplified by the systemic marking down of the Buzablo children and the internal assassination of their own peacemaker, Rabin, that internal self-hate inevitably acts as an energetic magnet attracting external hostility from the world. Let's quote the most famous physicist of all time, who happens to be Jewish, Albert Einstein, who said, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way." This is not philosophy. This is physics. That truth applies both ways. Self-love attracts external love, where self-hate attracts external hate. The universe mirrors the wounds and the wisdom carried energetically inside each of our own souls for self-improvement opportunities. Carl Jung, whose work I align with most closely, was extremely close to Einstein. Their work mirrors each other. World-renowned trauma expert Dr. Gabor Mate, himself a Holocaust survivor who lost his grandparents in Auschwitz, uses Carl Jung's psychological framework to map this exact phenomenon. He speaks directly to this unhealed collective shadow. Mate argues that when a community undergoes catastrophic genocide, the unresolved terror can freeze the collective psyche inside what Jungians call the victim archetype. When a group becomes unconsciously possessed by this archetype, a dangerous psychological blind spot emerges. They become entirely blind to when they have transitioned from being the oppressed to acting as the oppressor. As Carl Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." The unhealed terror, helplessness, and rage of historical persecution are never fully metabolized inside the soul. Instead, through that exact mechanics of Jungian shadow projection, that internal abyss gets projected onto an external enemy. Critics frequently attack Mate, claiming his anti-Zionism means he's a self-hating Jew. But looking at this through the lens of pure psychoanalysis, the exact opposite is true. True illumination requires us to stop running from our internal abyss. As Jung famously said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining beings of light, but by making their darkness conscious."